The Phoenix Rising pregame show is brought to you by Reese's Dental and Braces.
After more than a week without football in the desert, Rick Schatz and Phoenix Rising FC retake the field here at Casino, Arizona, as they will take on Michael Ensian and Tulsa Roughnecks. And yes, it is another dollar beer night here in the Valley of the Sun. Pregame presented by Reese's Dental, Tyler Terrence, along with the ex-German pro Devin Kerr, as Rick Schatz and Phoenix Rising FC look to make it 4 in a row, a win tonight, and they can hop into second place and be only just 2 points behind New Mexico United and Mr. Devin Kerr. Phoenix Rising has given us a number of moments, particularly against Tulsa, that are of the highlight reel variety. They're unbeaten, undefeated on Dollar Beer Night, 10-0-0. Their goal differential on Dollar Beer Night is ridiculous, but there's football to be played on the field, and obviously with Gold Cup right around the corner, they're going to be missing some pieces. One in particular is Kevon Lambert. We asked Rick Schatz who needed to step up. James Musa was at the top of the list.
He showed us what he was capable of just a few matches ago in that 3-1 victory against RGV, and this is an opportunity that he has to take full advantage of. No, he's not going to replace Kevon Lambert. However, as Lambert continues his progression in this system into a higher role on the offensive side of things, someone is going to have to tuck in behind. You can challenge the likes of Colin Fernandez, Aguinaga. All of them will eventually have to fight for a spot. Great opportunity for James Musa.
And on the other side for Tulsa, we asked Rick Schatz who he was worried about. Rodrigo DaCosta was the top of his list as well. Devin, you're really high on this kid.
You have to keep your eye on him at every single point in time in a match because he sits in a false 10 right underneath Johnny Silva up top. However, he rotates out on the wings quite nicely. He drops even further and plays the 6 if need be. He's all over the field. And you think, okay, let's take a look at his path to the pros. Stereotypical Botafogo youth program coming out of Brazil, right? Not the case. He unfortunately had to deal with his father's loss at the age of 14, lost the love for soccer. But Amari Nunez, former Charleston Battery player, saw him by chance, gave him an opportunity to come to the States, transferred over, led the USCAA in assists, and oh, by the way, had a little run last fall with the Darlings, Florida Soccer Soldiers. We saw them in the Open Cup third round exit. However, that led him then back to Michael Ensian and the Tulsa Roughnecks. Now he has an opportunity at the pro level. He's taken full advantage of it.
Well, the Tulsa Roughnecks are looking to take advantage of a possible opportunity of blowing up Dollar Beer Night here in the Valley of the Sun. Phoenix Rising looking to make it 4 in a row. It's Phoenix and Tulsa when we come back.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
all set for kickoff on this Friday Night Lights edition of the USL Championships Western Conference between Phoenix Rising Football Club and the Tulsa Roughnecks. Tonight's game brought to you by Equality Health. Again, I'm Tyler Terran, sitting 2.5 centimeters to my right is the ex-German pro Devin Kerr, and we will take a look at the starting 11, beginning with Phoenix Rising FC. We talked about the departure of Kevon Lambert, and we're also going to have a Luigi Mala signing along the back line, Devin.
That'll be an interesting partnership with Joey Farrell. AJ Cochran getting arrested, just trying to give him some minutes here and an opportunity to get his body back to health. The three up top, they have been so present in the last few matches, and Adam John, including all competitions, 6 goals with that Open Cup run as well in the last 5 games. So how do you continue that progression? They hope to stay on the same page. It's going to be interesting when you take a look at the other side of the ball with the Tulsa Roughnecks, because the wild card here is number 11, Christian Altamirano. He's kind of got that wandering movement that Rodrigo da Costa does in the middle, and they interchange very nicely. They'll switch sides with Fredlin Montpremier on the right as well. However, the goalkeeper, Sean Lewis, he went down in a 4-0 win back on March 23rd. This is his first start since then. They went out, they got Mason Steidehar on loan. Now, what can you do? You're on the road, hostile environment, Friday night game on a low rest. You have to step up for your team.
And this is a Phoenix side that has historically, over the last 3 games, and all 3 games between these two sides has gone in Phoenix's favor. They've pumped in an enormous amount of goals. You think about Didier Drogba's free kick back at One Oak Field. You think about Jason Johnson's incredible scissor kick. There have been an incredible amount of highlight reel moments for Phoenix against this Tulsa side. The actual first ever Dollar Beer night was against the Tulsa Roughnecks, and what a match that was. Juan Pablo Capa had a terrific strike. Joey Calistri, who's now a member of Phoenix Rising, was actually on that Tulsa team, and that was a Tulsa side that actually got to the Western Conference playoffs, as they were under David Vodrill at the time as our head referee for tonight. Eliojo Araguian gets us underway from Casino Arizona Field. 3 points up for grabs. Phoenix trying to make it 4 in a row after that 4-2 win against the Monarchs. Meanwhile, Tulsa on the other side have been woeful as of late. They're looking for their first win since April 24th when they took down Steve Tritchu's Colorado Springs Switchbacks by a score of 2-0. Let's take a look at tonight's Mayo Clinic injury report. And for Phoenix, usual suspects, Alessandro Rigi, Jason Johnson. On the other side, Akil Barrett and Matt Sheldon unavailable for Michael Encian.
The loss of Akil Barrett is a massive one for Encian. Went down with his ACL just a week ago, successfully came out of surgery, so nice to see that road to recovery just around the corner. But he was a vital piece for this squad. Again, remember, they have only retained the services of 1 player from their 2018 campaign.
Amadou Dia long throw, and Adam John jockeying for position. Amadou Dia trying to find Junior Flemings, who also got the call up for the Reggae Boys, as John Baccaro's going to let it fly from distance. It takes a deflection, and Lewis trying to keep it in play. Was he able to do so? Yes, he was. And Tulsa will be able to come out the other way. Now is as good a time as any to take a look at tonight's All-SCO uniform report. And Devin, it's a Friday night in the Valley of the Sun, and that means that Phoenix are going with their slick copper state kits. Meanwhile, Tulsa on the other side going with their white and orange.
So many mountains to climb here for the Tulsa Roughnecks. Talked about the history between them and Phoenix Rising. Tulsa holds the edge, 4-3-1 all time. However, their last win almost 2 years ago, July 22nd, and that was in Tulsa. And their record on the road, not much better, 1-3-1. So they've struggled when coming to Phoenix, and they're hoping to get that monkey off their back.
And this Phoenix side, we mentioned it before, a 4-2 win on the road at Zions Bank Stadium, a place that they had not won since 2016. Devin, you and I were just wildly impressed just with the amount of fight that they had, because Rick Shantz basically said that if they hadn't gotten that second goal before the end of the first half, that it was going to be a whiteboard crunching, tongue lashing of a conversation at halftime. But they were able to get the second goal. They found the equalizer, and then they just took it to the Monarchs in the second half, and it was a great sign of resilience. Again, they're still looking for that true complete 90-minute performance against a good side, but Rick Shantz could not have been more pleased with the fight from his side in Harriman, Utah a couple weeks ago.
Fortunately, struggled opening 25 minutes, hence the deficit they had to deal with. Martin Vasquez's squad very composed, more than capable of getting it done. However, they just couldn't see it out, and you have to give them credit on the character side of things, where, you know, backs up against the wall, they were more than willing to step up at the challenge. But to your point, Rick Shantz doesn't want those slow starts. He also doesn't want a slow finish. They need to find a way to put all of this together, and that has been the major struggle here. I think the key talking point, though, is that after all the trials and tribulations they've dealt with, they're right there. I mean, they are nipping at the heels of New Mexico United. With games in hand, they could jump into first over time because they do have 2 games in hand, including the game tonight. So what can you do with it? And we always say, would you rather be fighting from behind or have already put the results up? Most coaches tell us they'd rather be sitting up top, having someone else lay chase. But I'll tell you, the way Phoenix is playing right now, they relish the opportunity to go have them.
It'll be a set piece for Phoenix, and speaking of relishing in the opportunity, I'm sure Michael Encian would love to be able to get his club's first win in almost 2 months against a Phoenix side that is vying for the top spot in the Western Conference, that is undefeated on Dollar Beer Night, seems unbeatable when Bud Lights are flying around for $1 a pop. But the job that Michael Encian has done in his first full season, his second year as the Tulsa head coach, cannot be understated, as this header coming in from Flemings probably wasn't going to hit the target. Here's Farrell on the turn, and Lewis able to make the save. It was a more than awkward play for the Roughnecks at the back. And Joey Farrell trying to get in on the fun. Mustafa Dambuya will recycle for Phoenix. Joey Farrell loves to play that big diagonal ball. Finding Junior Flemings. Slips it underneath for Aguinaga. Coming off of 2 assists against the Monarchs. Flemings again. Junior Flemings trying to go for the curler, but he closed his hips off, and it's easy enough for Lewis.
For Michael Encian's squad, they don't necessarily have to deal with the same demons Phoenix Rising do. They've had struggles on the closing side of things. They don't necessarily start slow, though Sean Lewis had some questionable goalkeeping on the far post there. That's the rocky road we've talked about of a goalkeeper that has not had a lot of experience in recent times. And as a Phoenix Rising player, you have to go challenge him, have a crack from distance, get that second run, and maybe even take an extra touch. Whatever you can do to test this goalkeeper early, have a go as much as possible.
Don't miss the Memorial Day sale on now at Arizona's largest Ford dealership, Sanderson Ford. Not only will you get the biggest discounts and incentives of the year, you'll also get an additional $500 Visa card with the purchase or lease of any new Ford. Good build-up play from Tulsa, but broken up by James Musa. Phoenix give it right back. Aguinaga back for defensive responsibilities. Here's Amadou Dia. Was he able to keep it in play? Michael Encian has his hand up in the Tulsa technical area. Referee says play on. Junior Flemings is down behind the play. And now here comes Tulsa on the other end. The visitors showing teeth for the first time tonight. It's a hopeful ball clipped in. Joey Farrell got to it first, helped along by Jose Aguinaga. Phoenix asking Tulsa if they will play the ball out, they'll oblige. And Flemings is still down.
Junior Flemings just struggling after the challenge in the near touchline. Nice little 1-2 with Amadou Diaz. This ball comes back around. That's Montpremier. Just going in a little bit high there. That's a good look at Luca Lobo on the backside as well. Grew his hair out. Kind of odd to see with all the set piece opportunities he scored earlier on this year. A little change in fashion. Don't mind it.
It's a business meeting on a Friday night for Rick Schatz.
What's the footwear like, though? The old black and white Cole Hans. Respect. Some fancy
Classy
socks going on as well, too. There's Montpremier, gentleman who was in that challenge with Junior Flemings just moments ago. Looks like he's up and moving well, just waiting for the nod from our head referee to let him come back on. And classy by Phoenix Rising to knock it back after their fallen comrade was attended to.
Junior Flemings will be off with Jamaica to the Gold Cup. And He will join up with Kevon Lambert and a number of other USL Championship players in that friendly against the United States. 4 different USL Championship players start against the United States in what was a 1-0 win for the Reggae Boys. Shamar Nicholson with the game winner, and what a strike it was to be exact 7. And it was actually Kevon Lambert of Phoenix Rising who had the assist. As that's a rough challenge, and a foul's going to go against Dambuya. Malin Roberts and Cyprian Hedrick have played every single minute together for Tulsa along the back line. One premiere, and Zach Lubin calls everybody off. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. And Devin, it's always an interesting one coming off a bye week. The biggest result that stands out in my mind, and I'm sure your mind as well, coming off of a bye week, was when they went no goals June in 2018. And then they end up facing Fresno on the road and they got drilled 4-0. For you, when you were coming off of a bye week, was it difficult to get back into rhythm, or was the ability to press that reset button helpful? Combination of the two, depending on the scenario?
To be honest, it's part of the club that you're with, and it all depends on the circumstances surrounding it. And for me as an individual,
given away by Tulsa, here's Asante. Solo couldn't find the far post. He was getting yanked down from behind. He's making the argument that it should be a penalty, but he did get the shot away. But that's not the first time that we've seen Tulsa give away possession well in their own defensive third.
They're struggling with not necessarily a high press, it's just a higher line. Junior Flemings understands that if he tucks in a little bit here, Adam John has closed out the outlet pass down the middle, and so Solomon Asante just jumps him, along with the Jamaican, does very well. He's got a one-on-one on the back post, no penalty. Hedrick tries to apply the pressure, gets a little bit of an arm on it, but Solo is still able to get a shot off. Sean Lewis has to thank his lucky stars there. Back line not doing him any favors.
That's a rare mistake from Cyprian Hedrick, who's usually one of the better center backs in the USL Championship, whether it was his time with OKC Energy FC, San Antonio, actually played for Phoenix FC back in 2014. Phoenix looking to go again. Jose Aguinaga finding Flemings in a nice little pocket of space. Here come Phoenix Rising again. Solomon Asante for Aguinaga. Back for John, but it was a terrific defensive play from Malin Roberts, who was Johnny on the spot for Tulsa.
Well done by Roberts. There's an initial step here by Hedrick. That's where the back line becomes a bit discombobulated. Notice all the space available, but he tracks back quite nicely. Roberts recognizes the run from Adam John right at the top of the 6, exactly where he's supposed to be. Good recovery from the back line.
Ensuing corner towards the back post. Dia nods it in. Farrell was there, and it's cleared off the line. The Pennsylvania native could not get a touch to it. Had he been able to do so, it most certainly would have been in the back of the net, but it was really well done from Dia.
Tulsa have to find a way to pull some of this pressure off themselves right now, and it's poor decision making on their end. However, Phoenix looking quite nice in the final third.
Musa for John on the first time! It's a long distance connection dialed up by Musa and answered by Adam John. It's dollar beer night, and it means goals for Phoenix, and they got one in the 13th.
What you have to recognize here is that this ball starts and ends with Musa, with all respect, to John, because he's actually the one who plays the ball back to Duiji Mala, who then recycles it and brings it back up. He gets the ball right back immediately. The back line not paying attention to the drifting run of the big three up top. Adam John is drifted to the far post. He just puts it on a rope, 40 yards, and lets the big guy go get it. With a streak that he's on right now, you have to continue to feed that. That is now 7 and 6 in all competitions.
It's not the first time this season that we've seen Adam John take a more than difficult pass on the first time and just figure out a way to put the ball in the back of the net. He is a striker's striker.
And on the defensive side of things, it's quite interesting because chatting with Michael Incy, and he said, you know, we have to be better offensively in transition, but defensively as well. When we start to step, we have to go as one cohesive unit. Notice they did not. There was too much space. They did not apply enough pressure, and that allowed Musa to not only play the one back, but then go collect it and then go the other direction.
Terrific start for Phoenix. And given all of the self-inflicted wounds that Tulsa have been enduring in the opening 15 minutes or so, you almost had to expect, Evan, that this opening goal was coming from Phoenix.
It's funny because we said they needed a hot start. Hey, they needed to come out quick. They've done that. Tulsa haven't done themselves any favors, though. They've looked quite poor, and a lot of it has been from the goalkeeper and the back four playing out. Just has to be better decision-making. And when you're in a situation like this, you never want to get into a track meet. However, sometimes it's better to just knock it and reset.
Fleming's in for John, does well to find Solomon Asante. Here's Asante on the shot. Saved by Lewis. Aginaga trying to poke it back for Dia. Good work from Musa, who got a touch to it, but the foul's going to go the other way. The crowd's certainly not happy about it. Devin Kerr with a slight shake of disapproval. We'll get a much better look at it. But it certainly looked in full speed like Musa got a touch on the ball.
Pretty sure what the referee sees here isn't necessarily the intent by Musa, it's the application. Studs up the entire way, and that's what gets you in trouble. You can go into one of the smoothest tackles ever, but if you're showing studs the entire way, you are on the referee's radar.
So let's see if that opening goal from Phoenix can prove to be a bit of a wake-up call for Michael Encian's group. And look at John Baccaro getting back defensively, and that was another thing that Rick Schantz made sure that he got across to us, as Junior Flemings going through a Tulsa defender. All the pace and skill from Phoenix coming out in one blatant counterattack. Here's Asante as he tries to lash it across. Every single time that Phoenix get the ball moving forward, they look like they're going to score.
Very dangerous right now from the Rising going forward, and everybody's involved as well. We've seen it from Adam John. Nice to see James Musa stepping up. Fleming's obviously involved, and now Solomon Asante. The initial chance that he wanted a penalty on, and I don't mind the look. When you have this much confidence going forward right now, everybody wants to get involved in the run of play. So not the worst chance for him. However, he did have other decisions he could have made. Had a trailing run at the top of the 18.
Decent ball in, but handled by Lubin. Phoenix Rising is pleased to have players of Phoenix Brazos 2010 Girls Black as tonight's First Watch ball kids. Be sure to visit www.firstwatch.com to find your neighborhood First Watch, the daytime cafe. Kept in play by Lobo. Well done from Musa. Dia finding the feet of Flemings. And Milan Roberts. Another good challenge along the back line for Tulsa. Before Phoenix went on the other end, Devin, Rick Schantz saying that he needs John Baccaro to be a bit more active on the defensive end. It's no secret to anybody that when he's on the ball, he's magic, but with Lambert gone and the amount of ground that he covers, and now you're going to have to replace that on the aggregate, Baccaro's somebody they're going to turn to.
He said basically, I need James Musa to have one of his normal performances, and I need about 10% more out of John Baccaro. And to give you an idea of what his thought is in this system, another guy who's struggling with the defensive side of things, Devin Vega. Offensively possesses a bit more talent, John Baccaro, but defensively, the two of them still trying to figure out exactly what they can do with the two number 10s going forward.
Tuichi Mala putting in the challenge as Junu Silva was looking dangerous on that particular attack.
So when things do flip, you have to immediately turn and go, and especially when you get matchups like Altamirano, who Solomon Asante, another one who doesn't necessarily drop back. So if Beccaro doesn't drift and Asante doesn't drift, Altamirano has the run of it in two different areas, both in the middle of the field and out on the wing. This will be an area of concern for Phoenix, though. Tulsa Roughnecks are amazing on set-piece opportunities. Luca Lobo got 7 on the year. He's got 5 from dead ball situations.
Delivery well over everybody's head and actually went over the byline. They were hovering right around half of their goals this season have come off set pieces. And to your point, Devin, if Beccaro's not going to put in that defensive work, not only is it just going to leave space open, but the workload then becomes that much more difficult for Jose Aguinaga and James Musa, who are just asked to cover basically half the field.
It's a domino effect. One domino falls, and then you're constantly chasing your tail, and the next one, and the next one. So when the 10 doesn't drop and the 8 has to slide, now the 6 has to slide. Now who on the backside is tucking in from the midfield side of things? And especially with a player like James Musa, who you'll see the outside backs get a bit higher because he can drop in between Duichi Mala and Joey Farrell and help these guys going forward, turn it into a 3-back, push 5 into the middle.
Beccaro wins another ball back for Phoenix. Now it's with Junior Flemings. Looking for Asante. It's a terrific ball. Back for Beccaro on the turn. Somehow still with it. Aguinaga again. Back for Beccaro. Now it's Asante. Trying to stand one up at the back post.
Talking about midfielders struggling. How about Jeffadiah and Manny Gonzalez? They are all over the map right now. Manny is basically playing in a diamond in front of Jeffadiah, letting Jeffadiah sit as the number 6. But when they're becoming flat, Phoenix is picking them apart. And that's where they're struggling the most. See the movement at the top of the box just now. And you have to be flat at certain points in time, but also you need depth to you as well. Not allow them to drift as much as they are.
It's another giveaway from Tulsa. It's another opportunity here for Phoenix. Musa. Flemings trying to go back for Dia. Once more for Flemings, he's got space. Going for the curler, and what a save that is from Sean Lewis. That had 2-0 written all over it. Well, Devin, you said you wanted Phoenix to try to test Lewis as often as possible. Nothing he could do on the Adam John goal, but boy, was he up to the task there. And Tulsa just continue to play with fire along their back line. Tulsa shouting for a handball. Mustafa Doumbouya has it covered. Luca Lobo. Good challenge on Lobo.
With all due respect to their goalkeeper, Mason Steinauer, who has come in and done a nice job, Sean Lewis was the guy coming in 2019. Remember, 4 appearances, has only let 6 in the back of the net, and that's against the likes of T2, Orange County, New Mexico, and okay, Tacoma Defiance. Not the best argument, but that's basically a who's who of the Western Conference. 3-1-0 through the first 4 games atop the West because of his goalkeeping play.
And Devin, you and I always talk about the positioning, the technique for keepers. He actually went with the wrong hand, excuse me, and was still able to make the save.
That's just athleticism, though. Even when you can have your positioning just a bit off, you stick with technique, and he still does it in the right direction. He gets his body out, gets a nice push to the side, and the deflection is everything. If he tries to catch this, he's in trouble, because he's not going to be able to bring it down. He could bobble it up. Phoenix were there, they would have taken advantage of it.
Dia was a little bit late trying to slide that through for Adam John, and Tulsa cleared their lines. Joey Farrell was tripped up. The referee says play on, and Zach Lubin is off of his line. The 2019 Nissan Armada, intelligence with attitude. Shop your local Nissan store and choose Nissan.com today. Solomon Asante, who had the insurance goal for Phoenix in that 4-2 win against the Monarchs. Of course, the go-ahead goal came courtesy of Junior Flemings in the Sonic Happy Hour, no less. Tambuya driving middle. Adam John trying to show in support. Covered well by Hedrick. Now it's Akinaga, who's just got acres of green to run into. Trying to pick out Amadou Dia. It's a good ball, but he's offside. And our referee is not happy with Amadou Dia kicking the ball after the fact. Fans follow Phoenix Rising, Tulsa Roughnecks, and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+. Hold the phone. Adam John has Flemings. 2-0 to Phoenix. Now it's John who's the orchestrator. Flemings the beneficiary. They simply cannot be stopped at the moment.
I would not want to be a fly on the wall in the Tulsa Roughnecks dressing room at halftime. You are gifting one opportunity after another on Dollar Beer Night to too talented of a squad in Phoenix Rising FC. Ball just given away on the far side again. Good pressure on the far touchline. However, it's too easy. You just press with a few players, quick ball down into the channel, and the Junior Flemings recognizes all the space that's been made available. Luca Lobo looking over his back shoulder. That's your fault, bud. You have to what we're talking about. Too flat of a line in the John Baquero just floats to the back post. Solomon Asante, head on a swivel. Doesn't even have to take a second touch here. First one over the shoulder. Baquero tries to find the far post.
It's starting to get to the point with Phoenix in their attacking front where they don't even need to take a look at where the runners are going to be. It's becoming second nature, and that's exactly the message that Rick Shantz tried to get across to everybody at the beginning of the season, is that we have all this talent. Once it gets together, once it comes together, it's going to be incredibly difficult to stop as Baquero whips one in. And Jose Akinaga will recycle.
You're at 28 minutes. There's two schools of thought right now. Phoenix Rising, put the pedal to the metal. I mean, continue to push numbers forward because Tulsa look vulnerable. If you're the Roughnecks, you need a leader to step up right now. You need someone to grab this team and go, boys, this is not good enough. We have to find a way to get back into this match. Just over the halfway point of the first half, you still have an opportunity to apply a bit of pressure here before halftime.
Amadou Dia trying to put it into sixth gear, but Roberts coming over and cleaning up the mess. Quickly back in for Dia. Now it's the Ghanaian again. Good delivery for John, trying to flick it on for James Musa. Here comes Phoenix with a high press again. Tambuya, however, wrapping up. And it will be a free kick for Tulsa, as they'll be able to catch their breath at least for a moment.
Keep an eye on Phoenix. Watch the high line. Bad decision-making from Sean Lewis and the center back so far. John steps over a little bit, and they just pinch you every which way. Everybody understands, just play off the back shoulder, and they try and push him into these places where it's very difficult to play out of. That's how they have been so successful on the defensive side.
Akinaga displaying good work rate as he's able to win the ball and the free kick. As the Red Fury, the Bandidos, out in full force tonight. And why not? Spectacular. Almost summer evening in the Valley of the Sun. Dollar Beer Night. Phoenix looking to make it 4 in a row. Beautiful time to be a fan of the beautiful game in the desert. Sante got taken down, but he's not going to get any sympathy from our head referee. Did Baquero get that off for Dia? I don't even think that the Clemson product was expecting the ball to come back to him. Thanks to our friends at Jackson's Car Wash. You get a free car wash with every Phoenix Rising ticket. Visit phxrisingfc.com/Jacksons for more information. Joey Farrell, a towering header, but it goes out of play. And Devin, our conversation with Rick Shantz with regards to Tulsa's fast start, but now have obviously dropped a number of games and haven't gotten a win in close to 2 months. Basically said that with all the new pieces that they had, it was more or less like a new team that all the coaches and even the players were trying to figure out, and nobody could really figure them out for the first few weeks. But now everybody's starting to tune in terms of what they're capable of as Joey Farrell puts in a crunching tackle. Have you seen the same thing?
You could definitely make an argument for most of it. You take it a step further. Who's evolving here? Where is the evolution for Michael Inseed and his squad so far? And yeah, they haven't had a win in quite some time. They've only had 1 loss too, so it's not like they're dropping a massive amount of games. They're 1-1-4 in their last 6, obviously not including Open Cup play, against some pretty decent teams. Ties versus OKC Energy, Reno, and then but it's games like the San Antonio FC game. It's games like the Las Vegas Lights where you are the superior squad. You've shown the glimpses that your ceiling is a bit higher. Why can't you close those things out? Michael Inseed has recognized that, and to be fair to him, he's had some injuries. He's had some off the field and on the field issues. Unfortunately, they had to dismiss one of their players, and they've handled it okay. Not great, but it's
another giveaway from Roberts. Here's Asante running with John. John on the turn, slips trying to take the shot.
Going right to my point, it's time for someone to step up, and that includes this entire squad, because now you're 33 minutes into a game where you have basically given every opportunity to Phoenix Rising. And I'm not discrediting anything that Phoenix has done whatsoever, because they are playing a nice press, their line is high, they're solid on the ball. However, a lot of it has been off mistakes, to be fair, and Phoenix just jump them. And that's the problem here, is they cannot be self-imposed. If you are going to lose to a squad, make them beat you. And that's been the problem that they've had their issues with, where they're not doing that. They're gifting everybody opportunities, and that can't be the case here. You have to find a way to at least go from A to B, B to C. If you get disrupted in between, make sure that another squad has done it to you, that you haven't done it to yourselves.
Even their most recent affair, which was a 3-2 loss against Marcelo Serrano's Austin Bold. 2-0 lead at halftime. But as you and I talked about off air before coming on air tonight, is that they were never really in that game despite being up 2-0, and they could have given up 7 or 8 goals in the second half.
And that's the biggest argument you have in this topic of conversation, where that's probably the only game where they got played off the park. They did not look crisp whatsoever. And yeah, they had a 2-0 lead. They couldn't see it out, but ask Michael Inseed in that. He just said, we weren't good enough. You know, we couldn't add a third. And the fact that you're up 2-0 against a talented Austin Bold squad at home, and in your mind as a coach, you need to add a third, that's a problem. You've got it basically not on cruise control, but you should, because that's a very defensive-minded squad. Chris Tierpak should not be dropping 3 on you in the span of 35 minutes in the second half of a game when you're up 2-0. That's not the case. Home field advantage is there for a reason. And they didn't look good enough. And that's what it comes down to here. Their opponents aren't necessarily always beating them. They're beating themselves. Again, a lot of talent on the field, though, and plenty of time left in this match for them to do it. However, Phoenix Rising smell blood in the water. They're going for it.
We mentioned before that the first ever Dollar Beer Night here in Phoenix was against Tulsa, and it was a 4-3 win for Phoenix, and it was just a goal-scoring bonanza. We went back and forth the entire night. It was an electric game. So these two sides do have it in them, just in terms of finding the back of the net at an alarming rate. It's a very different-looking squad. That game back in 2017. On Pablo Kafa, Tier Young, Joey Calistri, Badou Chadama, Colin Fernandez was on that 2017 Tulsa Roughnecks side. I mean, that was a who's who of now players who are making serious impacts elsewhere in the USL Championship. That was a David Vaudreuil side that just got totally picked off in between the 17-18 season.
You have to remember as well that though Michael Insien wasn't the head coach at that point in time, John Baccaro was there last year on loan. I mean, this is a guy that got drafted coming out of Wake Forest by Chicago Fire. Basically got immediately sent to Tulsa. He didn't even get a sniff there. And he had a couple games. I mean, he had a decent run of it. And then got traded to Greg Vandy's boys in Toronto. Time with that squad as well as Toronto too. So John Baccaro will be well aware of what Michael Insien brings to the table.
One of John Baccaro starts right here in Phoenix. Here's Solomon Asante. Phoenix just oozing with confidence. Very much in the driver's seat. Goals from Junior Flemings and Adam John. Aguinaga gets it back from Flemings. John back for Aguinaga. Couldn't quite put the finishing product together. John Baccaro putting in all sorts of work defensively. He felt like he got fouled. James Musa switching the point of attack for Phoenix. Here's Dumbuya. Aguinaga again. Nobody stepping to him just yet. Now it's Asante. Asante with the left foot. That's easy work for Sean Lewis, who's already made a couple of highlight reel saves tonight. Manny Gonzalez gives it away. Dia trying to track back. Could be an opportunity on here for Tulsa to perhaps grab one back before the halftime whistle. But the effort straight into the hands of Zach Lubin. Fans, don't forget to tune into ESPN3 on June 18th for a special Tuesday edition of Wednesday Night Soccer, as Phoenix Rising FC meets Reno 1868 in Nevada for a meeting between two of the best in the West. As Flemings, was he taken down in the area? Yes, he was. Penalty to Phoenix. It's Roberts who's the culprit. Junior Flemings harassing the Tulsa back line.
Roberts got himself in trouble on the first challenge here. Should have known better to go back to the cookie jar a second time. It's caught up on Flemings as he tries to bring this ball in front of him. Could have gone down there. Credit to him staying up. And then the second challenge, just silly. No reason for it whatsoever. You did a good job to track back a little bit and got away with the first one. There's no reason to step in here. Just apply some pressure and allow your goalkeeper to bail you out. Let him go try and make a save. He's shown you he could do it before, and now you get put in the book as well. A chance for Solomon Asante, who's gonna step up here to the spot and put Phoenix up by 3 with 5 to go before half.
So Roberts shown mustard with 5 minutes to go before halftime. And now it's Solomon Asante to step up. Solomon Asante, 3-0. The captain doing what he does best. Phoenix in full control.
Coming in, we said, have to continue to apply the pressure and pump confidence into this front three. 40 minutes in, they're showing you they're good. They need no help whatsoever. Tulsa was actually arguing on the backside of this. They felt like Flemings was offside and the initial ball played in. Doesn't matter either way. Roberts should have done better here. Quality PK by Solomon Asante. Sean Lewis has no clue which direction to go. And to be fair to Solomon Asante, we don't see him knock it down the middle that many times. Usually picks out a bottom corner and has it go in that direction. Well taken by the Ghanaian.
And how good has the big three been for Phoenix as of late, Devin? Flemings, Asante, John. They continue to find ways to get it done. All three of them got into the score sheet against the Monarchs. It was the same against Eric Winalda's Las Vegas Lights FC as well. Asante did well to find Baquero. And Solo spraying one on the other end. It looked like John was probably offside. Coming up at halftime, we're kicking in with your Phoenix CW. The pregame ritual is alive and well. Find out the one thing that a couple of players must do on game day, plus quick questions with Kevon Lambert, all coming up at halftime. Tulsa give it away again. Junior Flemings, Adam John to his left. Flemings trying to take it himself, and Sean Lewis off of his line. Good chance here for Tulsa. Shot takes a deflection. And Zach Lubin says thank you very much. We mentioned before, with a win tonight, Phoenix can move within 2 points of Troy Lessane's New Mexico United, who are unbeaten in their last 6. Their last and only loss of the season coming against Reno. And they will have the pleasure of taking on Sacramento this weekend.
That'll be interesting to see how they handle that as well, because that was a team, New Mexico United, that up until about 3 weeks ago didn't have back-to-back wins. I mean, that's a crazy statistic considering they're atop the Western Conference. But past 4 matches up until Wednesday night, in the Wednesday night soccer USL Championship match, they'd won 4 in a row, including Open Cup. Steve Cook came to town. They fizzled their attack a little bit. It was a 1-1 draw, and to be fair, deservedly so between the 2 squads. But now you have to go against Simon Elliott's team, who's starting to play a bit better. The wheels starting to turn a little bit there. They're on an Open Cup run of their own as well. They're going to take on the San Jose Earthquakes. And so how do you respond? Short rest, some decent quality in front of you. Nice to see that trend continue. However, very difficult opponent.
And if I'm both Simon Elliott and Troy Lessane, and I'm looking at my matchup in that 4th round, it is not crazy to think that you could have a cup set there and find yourself in the quarterfinal.
I definitely like the opportunity for New Mexico United a bit better based upon Colorado Rapids' start.
Yes.
However, San Jose is right there as well. They're not exactly a spring chicken the way that they're playing. So a good chance for the Quails to pick one off. And probably the biggest issue for New Mexico United, and I took a little heat from this early on in the year, it's the altitude. And someone said, oh, you know, Isotopes Park is at 5,300. I don't care. Or excuse me, they're at 4,300. 1,000 feet is 1,000 feet. If you have never experienced it, 1,000 feet does something to your lungs that you would never wish upon anyone. So I get it, you're already at altitude, but when you have to jump up, all you've done is at base camp. Now you're trying to get to the summit. It's a totally different argument.
Good ball in. Trouble here for Phoenix, but Joey Farrell able to clear the rising lines. Manny Gonzalez trying to direct traffic for Tulsa. Flemings with good hold-up play. He's been just playing some terrific football, and what better time to be playing some of your best football when you're getting the call up from your country as Solomon Asante is offside. Jamaica's first game will actually be at home in Kingston at the National Independence Stadium, taking on Honduras. And that's going to do it for the first half. Phoenix Rising FC on a dollar beer night. Go figure, up 3-0 at halftime against the Tulsa side that they have clearly had their number for the past 3 matches. Make it 4 now. Still an entire half to be played, but Phoenix in full control of that first half. Goals from the big 3 in Flemings, John, and Asante. Devin Kerr, your thoughts?
You're Tulsa. Skip the dressing room, go straight to the airport. I mean, this is a problem. You are going to be uphill the entire rest of the way. However, if anyone's capable, Michael Insian is. He has an opportunity to regroup his squad here and go on the road and try and salvage some points. Remember, a lot going on, but still a chance. Highlights and stats when we come back.
I'm Jay Russell, and you're kicking it with your Phoenix CW. Welcome to halftime. There's a lot that goes into each and every game, but some of the prep work isn't as hard as you might think. Are pregame superstitions, rituals, or routines really a thing? You bet they are.
Yeah, I think all of game day, you know, most guys have their routine, like when they wake up, what they do, and then as you get closer to the game, what you're listening to, what you're thinking about.
From specific music to a lucky piece of clothing, just about all players have some sort of game day tradition.
Take a nap, that's for sure. That's about it. Other than that, it's just what do I feel like. When it comes to game time, it's game time, so.
Amadou Dia isn't the only one who makes sure to catch a couple of Z's as part of their pregame ritual. Carl Wazinski is even more hardcore when it comes to a pregame power nap.
Superstitions, always have to have a game day nap. That's my biggest one. If anything, everything else can go wrong. If I get a little nap in, I'll have energy for the game.
That's something to dream about. Soccer is the most played sport in the world, and that means big stadiums to hold all of those fans.
Now time to count down the 3 biggest soccer stadiums in the world according to worldatlas.com. Number 3, FNB Soccer City, Johannesburg, South Africa. This mega stadium hosts everything from political events to the World Cup. Its capacity, nearly 95,000 people. Number 2 on the list takes us to Spain. Barcelona's Camp Nou stadium has been a landmark there since 1957. This temple of soccer stardom seats a whopping 99,000 screaming fans. And now for the biggest of them all. We're off to North Korea. Mayday Stadium in Pyongyang is as big as they get. This supersized stadium is #1 in the world. It seats nearly 115,000 people.
Stay right here. We're back with the second half right after this. You're kicking it with your Phoenix CW.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
Lacroix! Now it's Musa! Oh, what a hit! Ryan Brown. Oh, that is electric from Phoenix on the break! Shot! Post wide!
Defensive juggernaut for both of these squads.
Here we go again. Steinberger on the turn. It's going to fall through. Allen! Just like that, it's 3-3. Alex Bassetti making a darting run. It finds its way all the way to Bassetti. Lays it off. Still an opportunity. Brown! Taylor again. The menacing attack. Taylor lets it go. And there's the opener for North Carolina FC.
Frankie comes inside on Watson. Acres of space here for the left wing back. Forbes now pinching in space to shoot. He drives it and beats far.
Coach versus Van Okel. Will this seal a spot? The fourth round. Number 4 delivers. 90th minute, Louisville leads at home again.
Into the 6-yard area, and it's Cicerone who wins in the air and restores St. Louis FC's 2-goal advantage.
So here comes Wynn. Is this onside? It is. A chance for Nashville to equalize, and they do! Carlton Belmar. Charleston into this round with 2 goals. And now, he sends them into the 4th round. Charleston with the upset. Gonna tie his shoe while action goes on around him. Oh, big chance here for Lima. Up against the top scorer. Frater puts it in. New Mexico United in front. That's kept in play. Skundred's the initial effort. Another cross. Headed in! Winner Benova! And the death! Awesome stuff from the USL Championship. Of course, Phoenix and Reno 1868, and Tuesday edition of Wednesday Night Soccer. Go figure, Devin Kerr. And of course, all of the terrific matches from the third round of the 106th edition of the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup, including that wild affair between Tampa Bay and OKC Energy FC that finished 4-3 in favor of Steve Cook's side. And we'll take a look at some news and notes from around our beautiful league, Devin. And of course, Tampa Bay Rowdies still have yet to lose in league play. We mentioned their first loss across all competitions. And then Ryan Martin gets his first win in his debut as the head coach of Loudoun United. And we mentioned it before, just a whole host of USL Championship players are going to be seeing gold this summer, Devin. And obviously one of the big names, Kevon Lambert, is going to be on display for Jamaica. I have a feeling that he's going to play close to 90 minutes every single game for them because he played terrific against the United States in that friendly just a couple days ago. And we'll take a look at the West standings. And these are live standings, folks. Phoenix rising 2 points off New Mexico United as they are holding on to a 3-0 lead at the half. Devin, what else are we seeing up here?
Well, the biggest talking point is coming into this match, the discrepancy or lack thereof in the Western Conference, and truly how fluid this thing is up top to bottom. If Tulsa would have won tonight, they could have been sitting on 20 points, tied with Phoenix Rising. Now goal differential would come into play, but it gives you an idea of how closely grouped everybody is. That opportunity fastly fading based upon what went on in the opening 45 minutes.
Well, we're fastly fading out of halftime and soon to be into the second half. Don't go anywhere. Stats and highlights right around the corner.
Hey Rising fans, we love it when you post on social media. When you do, make sure you're using the hashtag RisingOnCW, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. We want to see your spirit, hashtag RisingOnCW. Now quick questions with Kevin Lambert.
Dog or cat?
Dog.
House party or club party?
Club party.
Bath or shower?
Shower.
Save or spend?
Spend.
Rock music or hip hop?
Hip hop.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
Manchester United or Liverpool?
Neither. I hate both.
Beach vacation or city vacation?
Beach vacation.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Paper or plastic?
Paper.
Superman or Batman?
Superman.
American football or rugby?
American football.
Money or fame?
Fame.
Bagels or toast?
Bagels.
Corner kick or penalty?
Penalty.
East Coast or West Coast?
West Coast.
Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Shopping online or in person?
Shopping online.
Pizza or pasta?
Pizza.
Snow skiing or water skiing?
Snow skiing.
Private jet or private yacht?
Private yacht.
Golf or fishing?
Fishing.
Car or motorcycle?
Motorcycle.
Apple or orange?
Apple.
Pet panda or pet zebra?
Pet zebra.
Ballet or South Park?
South Park.
Superhero or supervillain?
Superhero.
Olympic medal or Academy Award?
Olympic medal.
Play video games or play outside?
Play outside.
Okay. Slot machines or blackjack?
Blackjack.
Roll the dice or play it safe?
Roll the dice.
Pool party or nightclub?
Nightclub.
Restaurant or buffet?
Restaurant.
That's it.
Stay right here. We're back with the second half right after this.
At Arizona Federal, our passion is to help out the community where you live and work, because where you bank should make you feel good. Show your support for the home team with the Phoenix Rising Visa debit card. When you open a new account, you can score $100 just for using your card when you shop. How's that for an easy goal? Be a part of our commitment to the community. Arizona Federal Credit Union.
Mobile Mini is a lockdown defender. Have peace of mind using Mobile Mini, guarding all of your valuables on site, at home, or at your business. Mobile Mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
Almost ready for the second half here at Casino at Arizona Field. Tyler Terrence along with the ex-German pro Devin Kerr. Phoenix up 3-0 on the Tulsa Roughnecks, and we'll take a look at how it all went down in the first 45 minutes. And Devin, even though it took Phoenix about 13 minutes to get their opening goal, and boy was it a beauty, it was always coming.
It's a beautiful ball by James Musa, and you can't discredit that because this is 40, 45 yards easy right in front of Adam John. John has to track this over his shoulder the entire way, sun setting. Picturesque finish, though, and very well done by the big man up top. As we mentioned earlier, his streak has been less than spectacular, 7 in the past 6 in all competitions, and it just didn't stop. You continue to apply the pressure. They kept going and going and going. We said they needed to test Sean Lewis. They did it multiple times in the first half. This was a bright light, though, for the goalkeeper. Again, no starts since March 23rd. Great save, but then floodgates just open. 1-2 play, the press on the side, great ball into Adam John. Fleming's on the far post. Luca Lobo looks over his shoulder asking for help here. You don't need help. You are the only one that is supposed to lock down this situation, and the outside back gets it wrong. For everything he has done right, this is horrible defending, and you basically could say the same not only for the back four, but the holding midfielder and Sean Lewis. They couldn't get anything right. Poor decision down the stretch here by Milan Roberts. You get away with the first one. He continues. All you have to do here is step out in front of the attacker and push him towards the byline. Sean Lewis has the near post covered. Give him an opportunity. He doesn't. Referee gives a pen. Solomon Asante makes him pay.
Solo steps up, his second goal in as many games, and Phoenix Rising would head into halftime with a 3-0 lead. I have a feeling the conversations between the two coaches are of very different colors. Rick Schatz obviously is going to basically say, keep doing what you're doing. Let's put the pedal to the metal, see if we can pump a few more in. Meanwhile, on the other side for Michael Encian, it looks a lot different, Devin.
They got a couple problems, and most importantly, if you focus on your style of play, things have to change here. You have to find a way to provide some depth to your midfield. That's where they struggled the most. We said you need to get Altamirano involved. You need to get Janu Silva involved, Rodrigo da Costa. They were all eliminated. I mean, you took 20 out of 24 goals off the table. Phoenix Rising did their homework. They knew what they were doing defensively. When you look at what they're able to do going forward or lack thereof, you just need to step it a bit here. So if Jeff Adai drops Rodrigo da Costa, Manny Gonzalez, more movement in the middle of the field, and when all else fails, knock that ball up to Janu Silva. They've had success doing that before. Put it up to the big guy up top, then have runners underneath and play off of him. They did not do any of that. They got away from their bread and butter, and again, playing out of the back was quite a problem, as Phoenix Rising did very well with their press.
Well, we're officially underway in the second half as another long ball ahead to Solomon Asante, who brings it down beautifully. However, his second touch wasn't his cleanest. Here's Jeff Adai. On premiere. It's out of the reach of everybody, and a throw-in coming up for Phoenix. And again, goals from the big three for Phoenix in Solo, John, and Flemings. Junior, of course, is going to be off to national camp with Jamaica ahead of the Gold Cup. And Just loads of football right around the corner. USL Championship, Major League Soccer, of course, the Women's World Cup kicked off today. France with an emphatic performance over South Korea. And you'll start to get a whole slate of games. However, the U.S. women's national team won't start playing until Tuesday, as they will take on Thailand. And then, of course, the Gold Cup will commence this upcoming Saturday, as that one is going to be brought all the way back and a little bit of a kerfuffle. As DaCosta and Amadou Dia get into it. Conversation still being had, and it's obviously been a frustrating night for Tulsa at the very least. And DaCosta has more or less been invisible. Phoenix certainly have their work cut out for them in the coming weeks, without the likes of Lambert and Junior Flemings, taking on Orange County at home, on the road against Reno, on the road against OKC Energy FC, and then home against Portland. Looking at numbers 3, 4, 7, and 9 in the Western Conference standings, Devin.
That'll be fun. That's a struggle right now. And when you get into situations like this, it's pretty easy for it to go from bad to worse pretty rapidly. That's what we talked about going in at halftime, just a joke that you want to get out of here as quickly as possible, but you need to find a way to gain some confidence. And one spot that you may think of, and I say may because Phoenix is not going the other direction right now.
John for Dumbuya. Back for the striker who already has one goal tonight. Patient from Phoenix, Musa trying to slide it through. Tulsa just take the easy way out and concede a deep throw in. 5 minutes into the second half.
I was about to say that one of their saving graces could be that Phoenix may, and I started to allude to it earlier, may pull off the trigger a little bit. Not the case so far. Sometimes when teams go up 3-0, just put it on cruise control, sit a little bit, start to knock it a bit more.
Phoenix give it away now in their own defensive third, and now it's Tulsa looking to make a statement of their own. Manny Gonzalez, edge of the area, curling effort. It looked like it might have taken a deflection, or the shot just went awry completely, and that's why the Banditos and Red Fury are giving Tulsa a bit of flack after the fact. And indeed, the shot from Altamirano didn't touch anybody and simply was just a poor effort. 29-year-old from San Pedro Sula. He has 4 goals on the season. Heavy touch from Adai. Sonic's new Red Bull Slush was a no-brainer. Slushes are a crowd favorite. Red Bull is a crowd favorite. Hurry into Sonic for your new favorite drink.
Better believe some of those boys will get an opportunity here in the second half. There was a good look at Ben Spencer. All the way down, going through the progressions, trying to stay warm. The rest of his teammates, and then in your near view there was Rick Shantz, the illustrious leader of Phoenix Rising. That's his boys clicking tonight.
Joey Farrell did really well. Sailing off out to Morano. How nice would it be to see Colin Fernandez get back out on the field against his former club. On the Phoenix side of things. I think hasn't played since May 5th against Orange County in that 2-1 loss. Adam John getting into it with a dive.
John's got to be careful. As smooth as things are going for Phoenix, he's sitting on 4 yellow cards. You don't want to pull that trigger, because if he gains a 5th, now you go into accumulation, now you gain a suspension. And the way that he's playing right now, you have to make sure you keep yourself active in these games. Don't give the referee a reason to put you on the sidelines for the next match.
It's just a talking to for both John and Adai. And now we're going to see our first substitution of the night, as it's going to be Montpremier coming off and Rogers coming on. Rogers, a 25-year-old from Mexico City who moved to Tulsa. Just making his 2nd appearance on the year. He's only played 8 minutes thus far. And getting a big opportunity here to perhaps show Michael Encian that he deserves a bit more burn than he's been seeing.
Unfortunately, not the best shift. Montpremier on the right side tonight. Got a lot to handle, the likes of Amadou Dia and Junior Flemings, especially the way Flemings is playing. Just firing on all cylinders, causing so much frustration. When you have that kind of shift, it's quite difficult when you're focused on the offensive talents of one and then have to drop back, help out. And it's Junior Flemings, and just trying to find some confidence still, Tulsa, here in the second half. To your point, Tyler, good opportunity. Matt Rogers, only 2nd appearance on the year.
Out to Morano, finding DaCosta, and DaCosta finding the Bandidos.
Did it land? Being honest.
You always are.
If a ball is struck over the top of the goal and lands in the bleachers, did it actually land?
Should be a handball, and it will be. Didn't realize you were going to get philosophical on me tonight. It landed in the bleachers.
But it did hit the ground.
But the bleachers are blocking it from hitting the ground.
So it didn't.
It landed.
We landed on the moon.
Looser commits the foul. Caro quickly closes down the ball, but Tulsa starting to figure some things out here in the second half. Rogers pushes it out wide. It's Luca Lobo. He bends one in. Lubin strong fist off of his line. And they're going to immediately wave on medical attention. I have a feeling that Zach Lubin caught DaCosta across the face as he was coming off of his line to punch the ball and probably caught the 25-year-old from Rio de Janeiro.
Opportunity now for both of these managers to figure out how they're going to see this game out. You saw Phoenix Rising taking care of it on their own. They grouped around each other, having some words. Looking for a bit more energy here in the second half. Putting 10 minutes, not the best for them so far. Tulsa on the front foot, but again, it's going to be an uphill battle the entire way as Phoenix has been so good on the defensive side of things. Let's a good look at Zach Lubin doing a good job taking command of his box, and Rodrigo DaCosta understands that. You are in harm's way anytime you step in or around the 6-yard box. Goalkeepers will take full advantage of that opportunity to step out.
And Zach Lubin is just doing all of the little things right, including those moments when he's asked to control his area. And even though he gave up 2 goals on the road against the Monarchs in their most recent win, he came up with one massive save, Devin, when it was 3-2. That easily could have drawn the Monarchs level. Giveaway from Roberts, Adam John trying to get there. Costa back out onto the field. It's a good idea forward for Rogers. And last touch coming off of D and a corner kick for the visitors.
They show you glimpses, the Roughnecks do, especially here in the second half. When we talked about the opportunity to try and get some momentum and get back in this game. A set piece, what a better way than to seize that and push yourself forward. I mean, it totally changes the dynamics of the game. They grab one on something like this, and for Phoenix, a test of character. Hey, you've put it on cruise control. Can you see it out without succeeding one in the back of the net? It's a team that multiple matches in a row that stretch against Sacramento Republic, Tacoma Defiance, El Paso, Fresno. You know, they had 4 and 5 where they kept the shutout. That hasn't been the argument as of late.
Lofted ball in. It's the second time we've seen Tulsa just waste a corner opportunity. Devin, it's that time. It's time for Sonic Happy Hour. Brought to you by Sonic and your new favorite drink, the Red Bull Slush. If a rising player scores during the 60th minute, much like Junior Flemings did last game, one lucky fan will win a $500 Sonic gift card. For more info, visit phxrisingfc.com/Sonic. It's not happening.
We're going to need a beautiful ball by James Musa, much like the Adam John goal, to make it happen if it is. 25 seconds and counting. Speed it up, boys.
If Sonic goes out of business, you're going to know why. It's a numbers game. It's not happening twice in a row. It's just not. Now, if the other team scores, does one lucky fan or unlucky fan lose $500 during the Sonic Happy Hour?
I'm sure that's the way it works out.
Or do they just put our names into a hat?
One of us gets
One
the
of
card.
us. I was going to say loses 500. It's like credit card roulette.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have an argument in that area. Although you and I were both successful recently in credit card roulette.
We were.
It's quite nice.
I was down to the final 2. It was scary.
You were one of the final 2.
Yeah. And it was the same credit card, too.
It was the
that
same,
was
yeah,
the interesting
very
part.
confusing. Didn't know when we pulled it out when it happened.
Sometimes you got to grab life by the horns, you know what I mean?
Or the credit card.
Or the credit card.
Poor Ryan.
Poor Ryan. And that was on our way to go see Orlando City and LA Galaxy. Good ball through from Asante, Mustafa Dumbuya. Trying to pick one across. Roberts makes a good play. And even Roberts, who's probably been the best player for Tulsa on the night, he's had his fair share of mistakes along the back line as Phoenix want to go quickly. Dia brings it down. Looked like he wanted to hit it for a moment. Aguinaga trying to wiggle his way through. Joey Farrell able to draw the free kick.
You can see things on cruise control a bit here for Phoenix Rising. Why not up 3-0 against a team that for a while was the better run of it in the Western Conference, though now Rising looking down on them. Michael Encian going to be frustrated with his squad's performance. Been a bit better in the second half, though. Not exactly a boatload of press coming from Phoenix, which caused the most disruption in the opening 45.
Work from Baquero again, who's really been up to the task that Rick Johnson's put in front of him. Asante, great little flick from Dumbuya. Tulsa come away with it. Here's Rodrigo DaCosta. To Morano. Handled more than easily by James Musa. Fans starting to have some fun here. We're about 65 minutes into Dollar Beer Night. And I believe the fun on Dollar Beer Night is directly proportional to the amount of time that's elapsed.
It's not the amount of beer.
It's the parabola.
Exactly. Well done.
Those math classes I took / didn't pay attention to, they paid off for something. Good win by Joey Farrell. Asante, beautiful ball forward for Junior Flemings. Excellent first touch. Junior Flemings, 4. Second of the night for Jamaican. It's been all Phoenix all night.
We have hit a bit of a lull, but that's exactly how quick Phoenix Rising can strike. Cannot slack off for 1 second, even when it looks like they're putting you to sleep. They are weaving their web of ridiculous here on the offensive side of things. Just quick little touches. John Baquero into Asante, quick little look up, and he sees Flemings on that back stick once again. In behind Luca Lobo, struggling all night long with the pace. The Brazilian cannot keep up with the Jamaican. And how about this kind of performance to send yourself off, saying thank you very much to your club. I'll be gone, but do not forget me. Gold Cup, but have a brace tonight for Junior Flemings.
So now Flemings and Adam John continue to go back and forth for the team leading goals. Fleming scoring his 7th and 8th of the season. Adam John, of course, on 8 in league play. Rogers comes away with it. Tulsa looking for some sort of consolation. Wasn't a bad thought. And Amadou Dia motioning towards DaCosta to get up, and what else are you supposed to do to celebrate a goal on Dollar Beer Night? Hashtag there's an uprising.
Well played, sir. Well played. We're going to work on that form on the can crushing.
I mean, with all the technology we have with head injuries, though, I'm just glad he didn't bash it against the skull.
Oh, I'm going for the head crush. It's Dollar Beer Night.
Then you're going to force the referee to stop the game.
Regardless of if it's a concussion or not, you're not remembering tonight anyway. The way the consumption is going.
Becerra, that's not a bad idea for John. Out to Morano. 1v1 with Farrell. Good ball in towards the back post, and the effort is skied. That was by far the best chance of the night for Tulsa. And Janu Silva made a mess of it, and Andrew Wheeler-Omino is going to make his second appearance ever for Phoenix Rising after coming on as a late substitute against the Monarchs, having spent most of his time this year with FC Tucson. And he replaced Jose Aguinaga, who again put on a brilliant performance tonight. He was in the middle of most of it. Didn't necessarily get onto the score sheet with a goal or an assist, but his work rate cannot be understated.
Definitely wasn't the overpowering performance that we saw at the Real Monarchs. However, they didn't need him to be. They just need him to be a constant in the middle of the field and provide that gap, the bridge from James Musa to John Becerra. He did such a good job holding that role. And that's the continued evolution of this midfield three. We talk about the big guys up top, but how about the rotation in the middle of the field? You would look at the lineup and say, no Lambert, watch out, this could be an issue. No Lambert, no problem. They didn't miss a step whatsoever. All three of them did such a good job. And now another opportunity for Aminu to continue his progression within this organization. Rick Sean's high on this kid. You know, he said that we really like what he's been able to do. Came over from the Atlanta program, and they just think that he got lost in translation a bit last year. Didn't have the opportunity for a lot of reps with Atlanta United, and then wasn't getting played by the USL squad, Atlanta United too. And just when you're not playing on a regular basis, it doesn't matter how much you're on the training ground and what level you're at. If you're not getting game minutes, you can't progress as a player. They think that they found an opportunity for him between FC Tucson and Phoenix Rising to help him out.
Speaking of Kevon Lambert, we got to have a word with him. Ask the question on quick questions on your Phoenix CW, Manchester United, Liverpool. The first to answer says, and I quote, "I hate both of them."
I think that's an opening for They'll Never Walk Alone.
You just got to teach them the way. I mean, champions. Be a fan of a winning club. Probably a City fan. Here's Asante. Trying to pick up seconds. Somehow came away with it, lays it off. Here's Wheeler-Omino. First ever goal for Andrew Wheeler-Omino in a Phoenix Rising jersey. It's a Mambo number 5. And our Dollar Beer Night boys are at it again.
Touch the ball. First touch. What a way to make your directorial debut on the offensive side of things. Got about 3 minutes in extra time last match out. We said to Rick Shantz, where's this kid going? We continue this rate of success. Sky's the limit. I mean, very well done. That's the role that he needs to occupy. Exactly where Aguinaga would have been as well. Top of the 18. Just let it drift across your body. picks out the bottom corner. Very well done from the Massachusetts native.
A moment he will most certainly never forget. All smiles from Rick Shantz. Are we at all concerned for our friends that seem to be going up to get another beer every time Phoenix scores?
I'm jealous. You do have to wonder, though, I don't believe we asked this or have ever asked this. Is there a cutoff time for serving in the stadium?
I would guess it's probably around the 75th minute. And is there a limit per person when you go up?
Of course there is. There's a limit in every
Those
stadium.
guys have had a beer every time they've scored. There was only 5 minutes in between those two goals.
We have to have bathroom breaks as well at this rate. You go pick up 4. By the time you get back, I can use the restroom, pick up 4. It's a circle. It's a circle.
It's the trust circle. So Junior Flemings will come off and be replaced by Joey Calistri, and Flemings will get a standing ovation. A brace tonight, his last game for Phoenix before departing to join up with the Reggae Boys ahead of the 2019 Gold Cup. And we'll take a look at Junior Fleming's body of work tonight, and it's been sensational.
40 minutes in between his goals. That was in the 25th minute. Great play coming out of the back. Baccaro to Adam John, and then to Junior Flemings on the back post. And how about this one? Lovely ball earlier from James Musa. Solomon Asante rips the page out, said, young man, I wrote that book. Take a look at this. Picks Flemings out on that back post run. He has been busy all night long, and it was just too much for Luca Loba to handle. Great shift by Junior Flemings.
And now Joey Calistri, the Northwestern grad, will get an opportunity to play against a club that really gave him his opportunity, as he was a standout with the Roughnecks in 2017, was able to earn himself a contract with St. Louis FC the following year, now obviously in a Phoenix Rising jersey. The only order of business for Phoenix is to maintain this clean sheet, which can be so difficult to do. When you see that 5 up on the board, it's not necessarily the back line, but it's the midfielders who can have the tendency to maybe not track back as far because you know the result is in hand. But for Zach Lubin, for the back line, it does mean that much more, and it gives them that much more confidence moving into this very difficult stretch of games to get that goose egg.
It does go back to what we talked about at the start of this broadcast, though, for the likes of James Moose, and we said, you know, would he be able to take advantage of his opportunity? Now everybody else has one as well. Andrew Aminu has come on, Joey Calistri has come on, and even Tuichi Malo on the back line. Keep the 0. It's all about your personal performance, and you want to give Rick Shantz a reason to second-guess himself now. When he pulls out that team sheet, tell him why you should not only be in the 23 or the 18, I want to wear the shirt. I want to be in the 11. This is one of those times where you're up 5-0, you're just cruising right along. Do not become complacent. Seize this opportunity.
Quick, it's purposeful, it's crisp from Phoenix. It felt like it got tripped up, no call from our referee. Get your tickets now for the Rising's next home match on Saturday, June 15th. It's a Western Conference Finals rematch with Orange County, and the first 2,000 fans get a Rising beach towel, courtesy of Foothills Sports Medicine. Visit phxrisingfc.com for ticket info. Are there beaches in Arizona I'm not aware of? Not a big geography guy.
The way you're looking at me, I can barely make it out of my own town on a Friday night. You want me to go multiple states, across the entire country?
I'm not asking the entire country. I'm just, it was a desert.
Man-made beaches.
Man-made beaches?
Yeah. Beaches.
Michi Galena. Bethlehem Steel.
77th minute, up 5-0. What do you want me to do? Give me a break.
Here's Joey Calistri. That's not a bad idea whatsoever. Hedrick got a touch to it, and Roberts, trying to avoid a half dozen, takes the easy way out.
We've already referenced the auditions that may or may not be at hand for Phoenix Rising. How about for Tulsa Roughnecks? A squad that has struggled from start to finish so far. And unfortunately, that finish line is not necessarily in sight just yet. Really Armino proved that just moments ago. Stepped on first touch back of the net, made it 5. Can you show your manager what you're capable of? It's such a rough start. It hasn't been the best run of play recently. You had the 2-0 lead previous match against Austin Bold, and now let up 3, let up 8 consecutively without a response.
Coming on Tulsa at the next opportunity. Out to Morano. And Lubin with a good save and a good hold. Zach Lubin was part of a fun trip that some of the boys took during their days off in this bye week, and Rick Shantz did give them a few. Jose Aguinaga, John Baquero, Joey Farrell, Joey Calistri, and Zach all took a little Winnebago, headed out to the Grand Canyon. Some good team bonding moments for the boys.
Don't remember getting that invite.
We were never going to have that.
I don't think that would have gone over well.
No.
Me and that Winnebago would never come back. Just thinking, see you later, boys. I'll meet you at the bottom.
Dia did really well. Here's Calistri, straight at Lewis.
By James Musa, good job there just to maintain possession. A little nutmeg and then hold things up for Solomon Asante as he tracks back.
Oh, Dia, great skill, standing one up, looking for John. Hedrick goes first to it. ball whipped in, handled by Luigi Mala. And the foul committed by Asante. Substitutions, 3 to be exact on either side. And Adam John will be replaced by Ben Spencer, and this is what Adam John was able to accomplish in the 13th minute.
What a ball. Still so much work for Adam John to do on the end of this. Trailing the entire time, 50 yards in the air, quick little look up, follows it. He never takes his eye off of it. At full speed, trekking in behind the back line to do that. Skill of difficulty at a 10. Adam John once again, that ridiculous streak. 7 goals in 6 games, all competitions. Well done from Adam John.
DJ Dean comes on, DaCosta comes off. Now we mentioned Dalla coming on as well, replacing Luca Lobo. Spencer actually making his first appearance since May 11th, so it's been about a month. Caro did well, kept his composure, finds Musa, and Musa's tripped up.
Gets clipped right on the end of his boot here as the turn comes across the body. Jeff Adai, and most assuredly Michael Insien giving a couple of his guys an opportunity to put themselves on exhibition. DJ Dean, a guy who has only made 1 appearance this year, was in the opening match versus T2 in that 1-1 draw all the way back on March 9th. And DJ Dean is that lone soldier that remains from the 2018 squad. Much like an expansion franchise here for Michael Insian's squad. He gets the interim job last year after Vaudreuil steps aside. Not a great start, and then kind of saw things out. They had that hot start to the year. DJ Dean was one of the youngsters who, an academy player. Of course, Michael Insian was ahead of that. Still heavily involved. They try and nurture this youth, bring guys up through so they continue to push things in this city. And obviously, you never want to have to track outside of your home state. However, Tulsa, in the unique situation that they're in, needed a rebuild. You can understand that. You and I were chatting about it. Youth on full exhibition for Phoenix Rising a couple weeks ago. Had the opportunity at the world-renowned Dallas Cup. Their youngsters, the U17s, took down their championship.
They did. They were able to take down Mexico's Querétaro in the final. The O2 boys got off to a quick start in the 34th minute, only to see their goal equalized in the 86th. That would make it 1-1. And then it would be Phoenix Rising's keeper, Greg Squire, who made 2 saves in the penalty kick shootout. And it would be Phoenix Rising FC taking home the 2019 Dallas Cup Under-17 Championship. And Devin, I mean, there's very few tournaments that have more clout at the youth level than the Dallas Cup. And for Phoenix Rising Academy, that's still pretty young, for them to be able to take that home, not only for Phoenix Rising, but to the state of Arizona, it's an accomplishment that the entire organization, the entire state should be extremely proud of.
That started last year. They partnered with Scottsdale Soccer, the Blackhawks, and did a good job just putting it all together. And it's similar to what Tulsa's trying to do. You want the community buy-in. Phoenix already had that. You wanted the fan base to be ever present. Phoenix had that. Then you make the jump to the youth level. And to be mentioned in the likes of Querétaro, Aalborg out of Denmark. I mean, the list goes on and on. Tigres, Monterrey, Arsenal FC, and not the Arsenal from across the pond. That was the California squad that won back-to-back-to-back national championships in the mid-2000s. First time to ever do so at the youth level. And of course, Puvas and Chivas USA. So a lot of Latin influence. And for an American squad to step up outside of the likes of Arsenal or FC Dallas, very nice to see. And that's a squad that has the opportunity. There are 3 youngsters recently that were training with Phoenix Rising FC. Rick Schantz just said, look, these guys have a great future in front of them. We want to help them get there.
Incredible accomplishment. Everybody at Phoenix Rising should be incredibly proud of themselves, including those O2 boys, as they were honored at halftime earlier tonight. Janu Silva getting a stern talking to as we are in the dying moments of this one. It'll be another dollar beer night win. That'll move them to 11-0-0. And not only is it the dollar beer night, Devin, something that flies under the radar is the fact that Phoenix provides shuttles from bars all over. Scottsdale, Tempe, Phoenix, you name it. They understand that, listen, this is an opportunity for people to let loose, have a good time, but to be able to do so responsibly. And for Phoenix to not only understand that, but to provide that opportunity for these fans to enjoy it responsibly. They just simply get it. It was a great write-up by Nicholas Murray and everybody at USL HQ on Sam Dorr and everything that he's done to help grow the Phoenix Rising brand in this market, because there has been a team here, but it wasn't necessarily getting the traction that they had hoped. And Sam has come in and done an unbelievable job, along with Bobby Dooley, Jose Bosch, everybody at Phoenix has done an incredible job, all the way up to Burke Bakai and all the way down to even some of the interns that you and I met when we were out there. I mean, it's just been a group effort, and Dollar Beer Night is sort of the pinnacle and something that gets the most visibility, but it's a 365-day-a-year thing for these guys.
To give it a bit more of a weighted argument as well, that's not just comments coming from us. It's not just thoughts about what's going on at Phoenix Rising. That reverberates throughout the entire USL community, not just at the championship level. These are guys who are committed to the process out here, and you hear it from Louisville, you hear it from St. Louis, you hear it from both Eastern and Western Conference teams.
As that's a great effort and an even better save from Zach Lubin. Well, if you're going to keep a clean sheet, sometimes you need a save like that. And Zach Lubin on National Donut Day wants to keep the donut. Still a chance for Tulsa here. Phoenix will able to regather themselves.
And we'll just track back to it before Altamirano tried to change this complexion just a bit here for this match. That message is all around, and everybody has the kindest words to say. And when your peers, more importantly, your competition is saying that about you, you know things are true and you know it's working well.
As that header's off the crossbar from Silva. And Tulsa really knocking on the door here in the final moments. Caro. So Phoenix will move to within 2 points of New Mexico United and into second place. Two games in hand on Troy Lesane, Santimon, Kevon Frater, and the rest of New Mexico United, as perhaps Phoenix are looking for number 6 on the night. Dambuya finding Baquero. The Spaniard will just wisely drag it to the corner. That's going to do it full time. Phoenix Rising again on Dollar Beer Night proved to be invincible. It got started in the 13th minute, and the scoring didn't end until the 71st. 11-0-0 when Bud Lights are flying for a buck a pop. A plus 25 goal differential, 7 clean sheets, 34 goals. Make it 4 in a row for Phoenix Rising as they head into a very difficult stretch. 5 goals on the night, no goals conceded. Andrew Wheeler-Amino, his first goal in a Phoenix Rising uniform. Junior Fleming's a brace before he heads off to national camp with Jamaica and the Reggae Boys. Devin Kerr, I don't think you could have asked for much more.
It's everything you needed. I mean, that stat right there gives you an idea. 11 matches, averaging more than 3-4 and less than 1 against per game. That gives you an idea of what they're capable of when they're put into these situations. More importantly, it's a complete performance. It is the first time this year, regardless of how poor Tulsa Roughnecks played, that they put together a full 9 minutes. From the start of the first whistle to when it just blew, they did a fantastic job. James Musa has to be man of the match. We said if he wanted to seize this opportunity, he could cement himself in the lineup going further. 100%. Did everything so right. He did it from an assist standpoint. Saw the long ball from James Musa to Adam Jaw, that 40-yard rope. Did a good job tracking back on defense. The biggest movement that he had, though, was his ability to sit in between the back line, dictate play going forward, and shut off the outlet passes for the midfield. Altamirano, Manny Gonzalez. You saw a die in the middle, and Rodriguez Acosta had nothing to do because of the phenomenal performance by James Musa.
It's another incredible performance from Phoenix on a Dollar Beer Night. 5-0 is their final score. We'll be back in a moment to put a bow on it.
At home or at your business. Mobile mini storage containers are made of 100% steel and maximize your protection with our patented Tri-Cam locking system that is camera-proof, cut-proof, and drill-proof. Proud partner of Phoenix Rising FC.
We're Carvana, the company who invented car vending machines and buying a car 100% online. Now we've created a brand new way for you to sell your car. Whether it's a few years old or dinosaur old, we want to buy your car. So go to Carvana and enter your license plate, answer a few questions, and our techno wizardry calculates your car's value and gives you a real offer in seconds. When you're ready, we'll come to you, pay you on the spot, and pick up your car. That's it. So ditch the old way of selling your car and say hello to the new way at Carvana.
The Phoenix Rising Postgame Show is brought to you by Nissan. Innovation that excites.
Full time here at Casino Arizona Field. A 4th win in a row for Phoenix Rising Football Club and Rick Schatz as they come away with a 5-0 win over the Tulsa Roughnecks, who are still looking for their first win since April 27th against Colorado Springs. Switchback Zach Lubin able to keep the clean sheet on the night. And let's take a look at tonight's Whataburger. What a save of the match. And Devin, this was in the dying moments. We talked about them needing to put together a complete performance. Zach Lubin needed to do his part, and he did it.
How well that he didn't switch off either, because we said it would have been easy for the entire squad to just kind of sit back and let it go. Shades of Sean Lewis in the opening 45. Well done by Zach Lubin. Would follow that up with a nice save on the back post. And just a good job overall on the defensive side of things to see this out. Again, offensively have been great the past few matches, but nice to see them keep the clean sheet that we saw go 4 out of 5 just a few matches ago.
All smiles, all high fives, nothing but wins, clean sheets, and good vibes here at Casino Arizona Field. And we'll take a look at how it all went down. Spoiler alert, this entire highlight package is going to be goals, and the first one is probably the best of the bunch.
Well done by James Musa here. And again, we talked about it earlier, but he tracks back, heads this backward to Mala, who then finds him again, quick turn, and pushes it out. And that's all because the back line wasn't tracking right. You can see everybody falling behind. Cyprian Hedrick involved, Milan Roberts and Luca Lobo. They just couldn't track John, and it didn't stop there. They continued to apply the pressure. Lovely movement here. Love the ball from Baquero to John down in the channel. That's a move you don't necessarily see all the time. Adam John peeling off, going one-on-one, but he does have the speed, and obviously he's got the craftiness to play that ball into Junior Flemings. Junior Flemings had a field day on those back post runs. Not a match whatsoever for Luca Lobo. Hung him out to dry, once again trailing here. And to be fair to Roberts here, he gets away with the first one, but we said it. Why not just hold your ground? Step up, step in front of the runner. He doesn't do it, takes into ground. In step Solomon Asante. Well, we made it 2. Let's make it 3.
So Fleming's able to draw the penalty after scoring the second goal, allows Solo to be able to step up and score the third. So Phoenix would head into the break with a 3-0 lead, be in control of all 3 points, but they would not stop there. There was a bit of a lull, and then there wasn't. Asante finding Flemings in stride, second of the night.
It's kind of interesting, the flow here. Musa to John, John to Flemings, Asante to Flemings, back to Asante, who gives it to Amino. So it was a good job by everybody get involved in the run of play going forward. And the biggest move going forward here was all the different looks they gave you. We didn't see anything from a set piece. However, you saw it on the right, you saw it on the left. James Musa dropping deep with good distribution coming out of the back. Then the substitutes getting involved. Even Joey Calistri looked pretty decent when he came on. So when you can get a full 90-minute performance from your 11 and the reserves coming off the bench, golf clap. Great performance, start to finish.
Well, here are the final numbers, and they are astonishing. Phoenix Rising FC, 18 shots, 12 on target. I don't think Tulsa necessarily had a shot on target probably until right before halftime or in the beginning moments of the second half. I mean, this is just a dominant performance from start to finish.
Look at the conversion rate. That is absurd. 66% of your shots hit the net, and just under 50 found the back of the net. I mean, I'll take that any day of the week. And for Michael Incian's boys, you got to wonder. Back to the drawing board here. This was not the result that he wanted, and they're going to have to get back to it right away. They have a tough schedule upcoming as well. Phoenix Rising, nice momentum for, what we talked about as a very manageable schedule, but a very difficult one as well. Up and down, guys coming in and out. For Tulsa, they have to handle Mark Lowry's boys, who have been on a hot streak recently. They're going to be at home, but a difficult squad nonetheless.
Well, it was another night where Dollar Beer Night reigned supreme. 11-0-0, 5 goals for, none against. A brace for Junior Flemings as he heads off to national camp. Solomon Asante got into the fun. Wheeler Aminu, his first goal for Phoenix Rising, as Rick Shantz and the boys will take on Orange County in a rematch of the Western Conference Championship from a year ago. For our entire team and Devin Kerr, Tyler Terrence saying so long for now.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.